We were supposed to run into him at spring training, but we missed each other. But now we're back together. Please welcome Mr. Garrett Stubbs to our show.
How's it going, guys?
Good, Garrett. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. But yeah, sorry we missed you at spring training. Did you enjoy yourself in getting ready for the season while you were in Clearwater?
Yeah, spring training's always fun. It's kind of that time where you get to find where your body's at, also get to see the boys for the first time in a while. Luckily, we keep in touch in the off season, but spring training's a good time. And then you get to that last week in spring and you can't wait to get going again.
Nice. It's got to be, I would imagine, when you guys are done warming up, you start to groove. You get out. It's time to get started. Did you get on the first day that you're actually playing a little bit of butterflies, a little bit of excitement in that way?
In spring training?
No. Once the season starts.
Oh, okay. Once the season starts, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit different than when you're going through the motions a little bit in spring training. Obviously, you try to keep the intensity up as much as possible in spring. But at the end of the day, the games just are not the same. They don't have the same vibe. The adrenaline's not there the same way that you do during the season. So you get into opening day, you see the flyover on opening day, and the butterflies start to go a little bit more, and that adrenaline comes in.
Well, speaking of spring training, Garrett, I saw the video that the Phillies put out yesterday, and it featured you, which was really cool. You were mic'd up. You were, running around the field and chatting with your teammates and some of the coaching staff. And you shared a story, and I would love for you to share it with the show. And I'm just going to say this to you: explain what happened with Red 32.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's funny when I get mic'd up. A lot of the stuff that they record, they end up not being able to use.
We know the feeling.
Yeah, you do know the feeling. So with Red 32, it was Schwarber's birthday, and Schwarbs and I were at the stadium, and we were going straight from the stadium at the end of the day over to the casino. Me, Brandon Marsh, Whit Merrifield, and it was an off day for us the next day. So we ended up seeing a couple Blue Jays guys, Tigers guys who also were in the casino. Anyways, we go to the casino. We play blackjack for about 3.5, 4 hours, me, Whit, and Marshy. We finally find the bottom of the wallet. Unfortunately, we're getting up. But earlier that day, I had talked to our strength coach. I said, hey, you got anything for me at the casino? He says, Red 32. I said, all right, Fury, Red 32, you got it. He's a local Philly guy and our strength coach. And we head over to we're about to leave. And I say, boys, Fury told me Red 32. We got to go over to the roulette table and put money on Red 32. We go over to the roulette table. I put money on Red 32. Forbes tells me to put money on Red 21 because that's my number also. One spin. Dink, dink, dink. Bang, Red 32. One spin on the way out of the casino. Every man's dream on their way out of the casino when they've hit what they feel like is the bottom of the wall.
Wow.
So that pays 30. That pays 35 to 1. How much did you put on that Red 32?
It was $25.
Oh,
and
good score. Mm-hmm.
And of course, right when I hit it, Schwarbs looks over at me and goes, pussy, you should have put $100 on it.
And Garrett, hadn't it hit Red 32 like 5 spins prior? Didn't you say something like that? Like it had just hit Red 32?
So, yeah, about 3 or 4 spins prior to that, it had hit Red 32. And so I go, we got to go to a different table because it just hit. Yeah. And Schwarbs is like, you're an idiot, dude. Just put your money down. Basically telling me you're going to lose anyway. Yeah. It doesn't matter that Red 32 just hit.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you tip out your buddy who gave you the Red 32
tip?
Yeah. All right, good man.
Every next day, the first thing I did was walk into the weight room and hand Fury some money.
Nice.
So he got dealt out nicely for his opinion.
You guys must have been screaming your heads off when that hit.
Going absolutely bonkers. And the pit boss came over to us and told us to calm down. Like, hey guys, you gotta calm down. You gotta chill out. And we looked at him. We're like, "F you, dude! Just give us our money. We're walking out. No problem. See you later."
You're thrilled. It's what you go to the casino for.
And when you're in a casino and you hear people yelling and screaming, you immediately want to go there.
How are your casino chops in general outside of the roulette wheel?
It's just like everybody. We do this all year long.
Right.
Yeah, we did recently go to St. Louis, which there's a there's a casino attached to the hotel, and me, Harp, and Stoddard and Trey was there, and Schwarbs again, and we sat at a slot machine of all things and waited there because the jackpot was at the highest amount at 10K, and we ended up staying there way too long and actually ended up hitting it. But at the time that we hit it, we were going the wrong way.
You were just trying to cover your loss.
Yeah. And we just want, you go for that exhilaration, and we ended up getting it at the end. But by that time, our win wasn't as big as it was if we had hit it a little bit earlier.
Garrett, I have to compliment you and also thank you for the overalls coming back. I know that you've worked with Foco, and they became a big hit last year. I was lucky enough to go to a bunch of postseason games, and my fiance bought the overalls because you were wearing them, and then more and more Phils fans were wearing them. And we were sitting outside, and it was a beautiful October evening, and we went in, and what she didn't expect was they hold all of the heat in. So she had a sweatshirt on and the overalls in. And so we got into the stadium, and she was sweating her ass off because they don't breathe very well. But you've remedied that now. You have shorts overalls.
Yeah, the shortalls are a very big pickup for this summer. It gets obviously very hot and humid here in Philadelphia. And Foco kind of changed the game there with the shortalls. So,
dude, you must end up looking like one of the Von Trapp singers.
Something like that. Yeah. I look like a whole bunch of things when I'm wearing those. But whenever I am wearing them, it means that we won. So
all right.
It's good vibes every time.
Yeah. I see your lats are showing in the one picture there. Good job.
Oh yeah,
buddy.
they put it's normally I'm soaked in champagne or beer or something, but they'll do for some good batting practice in the cage too.
So Preston had mentioned that we were supposed to have you on our show when we were broadcasting live from Clearwater back in March, and we were bummed because it got canceled at the last minute. And I think I was especially bummed because we had never met you before, but your reputation is what I'm trying to say had preceded you, and people just keep talking about what a great guy you are, and the glue that you are in the locker room that just kind of binds and bonds everybody together.
Yeah, Larry Bowa in particular was talking about how important you were to the club.
Are you aware of all these positive things that people are saying about you behind your back, and do you agree with any of it?
They just haven't gotten to know me yet if they're saying I'm a great guy. Look, first off, Bo is awesome. Yeah. We wish that he was around even more than he already is. Obviously, he's there in spring training every single day, hitting fungos. In season, he does a lot more, up in the office type stuff. And he comes down on the field every so often. I think we asked him this year to make his rounds a little bit more down on the field just because he's an awesome guy to have around. Just a really good presence and obviously a great baseball mind.
Well,
and then, in the locker room, man, we just have a good time. We love to hang out with each other. I like to mess around. I'm not in there as much as the rest of the guys, so I have a lot of time on my hands. Get to have the boys, it's 162 games, man. It gets stale. Yeah. I know most people in this city, at least, tune into borderline every single game.
Yeah.
But being in that locker room for 6, 7, 8 hours a day with each other, it can get stale. So I just like to make sure that everybody's not feeling that way and do that the best that I can. And luckily we have a great group of dudes to do it.
Cool. Yeah, you guys have like a bunch of stuff in the locker room, like foosball table, ping pong table, stuff like that. Do you guys have tournaments, and who's the best out there? Who's the guy on the team that has hands down the best hand-eye coordination?
So yeah, we got ping pong in there. I'm going to put Stoddard at the top of that list. Stodder's got a whole nother side business going on that ping pong table. And we got a mini basketball hoop in there that we can like play around the world. I'm going to go Wheels or Hoffy on the best around the world basketball player.
Huh.
But yeah, we keep it light in there. I mean, like I said, the game gets intense, and obviously we're out there working our nuts off.
Yeah.
And our intensity is at an all-time high when we're out there on the field. But up until then, we like to keep it light and make sure everybody's in a good place.
How's your golf?
Golf's good.
Yeah.
I played with Whit yesterday. Whit is a scratch golfer.
Yeah.
So I'm nowhere near there. My handicap's a 10.
Okay.
So I'm not like a bad golfer. I'm not a good golfer. And I'm especially not a good golfer when I'm playing next to Whit. But yeah, we got to play Marion of all places yesterday, which was incredible.
Wow. Your first time playing there?
That was my first time playing there.
Yeah.
And I hope we get to go back again.
What'd you shoot, if you don't mind me asking, because it's a tough track?
I shot a 90, just right in line with my handicap.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
I drove past there when you
also-
were playing. Did you see me by any chance?
Were you over there?
Yeah, I literally drove past there 2 different times.
Nice. Yeah, we had a fun time out there, man. It was cool. That course is about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gary, you grew up in Torrey Pines. You ever play there?
Yeah, so when you're a San Diego resident, which unfortunately I wasn't, I grew up in a place called Del Mar, and it was its own like city. You get to play Torrey Pines for $60.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. And I was not a resident, and in high school and college paying $260 for a round.
Oh my God.
Not very conducive to my wallet at that time. So I didn't get to play there a whole bunch, but yeah, I played there a handful of times, and it's incredible.
So Larry Bowa's hit a hole in one. How many of you hit?
Up.
So I have hit exactly 0 hole-in-ones. And funny enough, that Larry Bowa hole-in-one, we were the group right in front of him all day at that charity tournament. Earlier in the day, Bowa and Paco Figueroa hit into our group because our group we didn't have a whole bunch of golfers, I'll say, and I'm not going to tell you who was in our group, but we didn't have a whole ton of golfers. So we were moving a little slower, but we weren't moving that slow. Anyways, they hit into us. I take Paco Figueroa's ball, he had hit onto the green, and I pick it up and I throw it back at him onto the fairway as we're standing on the green.
Nice.
So later in the day, we get to that par 3. We finish up putting. Me and our whole group are not more than halfway off the green. And here comes Bo taking a full hat towards the green. Trey is behind him and says, 4! Ball's in the air, turn around, look at it. He goes, it's going in the hole. Joking around, of course. Rolls onto the green and goes directly into the hole for the hole-in-one. And all of us just went absolutely insane.
Yes.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Insane.
Yeah. The footage.
All the stuff about hitting into us before, completely forgotten.
So Bo was probably speeding up to hit that shot just to get it at you guys while you were still on the green.
Yeah, he's
and
messing
since he didn't stand over there and agonize over his ball for a little while, he just swung and aced it. That's awesome.
Yep.
I love
it.
it.
Was awesome, man.
Yep.
Yeah. It was
Garrett,
great.
you mentioned Whit Merrifield. We chatted with him at spring training, which was really cool. But he's really one of the only guys who's new to the team this year. Most everybody that was on the team last year is back this year. And we were chatting about it a bunch in spring training. It seems to me, first of all, I'm a lifelong baseball fan, but I love this team. I love this group of guys in no small part because it seems like you guys really care about each other. You care about the city. You're also out there having fun. It's just a really likable group from an outside looking in. What's your perspective, on the inside, being in the clubhouse? Is the same that we feel?
Yeah, it's exactly that. It doesn't really, you don't get that narrative or that perception from every single team around the league, right? I mean, you got a lot of new players. Even when teams win championships, the next year you come back and you're like, dang, half the team's gone. Mm-hmm. And we're lucky to have an owner in John Middleton who keeps these core group of guys that, one, are incredible baseball players, but two, are incredible people as well. And, you don't get to choose your teammates. We're not the ones that make those decisions. But John and Dave Dombrowski and the whole front office, they do a really good job of making sure that our locker room is as good as it gets, along with having the best players in the league in there as well. So, yeah, and Whit was just another great addition. Not only is he a good golfer, makes me feel like crap out there on the golf course, but he's a good dude, a lot of fun, good casino guy. So just another good personality to have in the locker room.
Well, and I think what has stood out as well amongst this group of people, your teammates, is that we've gotten so used to seeing star players sometimes be prima donnas. And while they're on your team, your hometown team, you're pulling for them, you want them to win, there's still also a little bit of, I'll bet that guy's a douchebag. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you just don't. You got your Bryce Harpers. You got your guys that appear to be like everybody else on the team. They are not saying I'm better than you. And
I'm better than you at baseball.
Right. Right. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll talk smack to each other. Don't worry about that. That's part of the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Hey, did it?
But yeah, no, you're exactly right. I mean, Harp's been a superstar since he was 16 years old.
Yep.
You know, but he's still an incredible dude. He could very easily be the guy that just is standoffish, not a part of the team, you know, all those kinds of things. And he's not. Yeah. He's the guy that's in the locker room every day with the boys, hanging out. And that's kind of the vibe that we have in our locker room. And I don't know if it's been that way in Philly forever, how long, but it's been that way since I've been here in 22. And it's been super fun, and plan on keeping it going.
Love it.
Has
anybody ever told you that you kind of remind them of a better looking Matthew McConaughey?
No, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
I've gotten the Adam Sandler one. I think it's just because we're both Jewish.
Yes, yeah. Stick with McConaughey. No, we love Adam Sandler. So your brother plays for the Astros, and so two prominent teams, two prominent cities. You're both charismatic. How long before one of you is dating Taylor Swift?
Well, if that's the question, one of us is going to have to be bigger, stronger, and better than Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And I don't know if either of us want to take on that.
Okay.
And you just got engaged, by the way. So
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Garrett, I wanted to let you know we're going to have Adam Cronali, the Phillies bat boy, in studio next week. And Adam can't do this because it's his job, but he's running for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society's Visionary of the Year. Now, technically, he is not allowed to ask players for money. However, we as broadcasters are allowed to ask players for money. So I'm only saying this on behalf of Adam. He didn't put me up to this or anything. I've done a lot of work with LLS over the years. If you and or any of your teammates would choose, independently of everything that I'm saying, to support Adam in his campaign, I would be grateful, and so would the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So I'm just letting you know that now, because Adam's a good dude.
Yeah, you got it. And I'm sure a lot of the guys on the team, now knowing that, would be more than happy to help Adam out and the Leukemia Foundation there. Adam's an incredible guy. We actually want him to come on the road with us, which right now is not the case. He did it a few times last year in the playoffs, but we've been asking to get Adam on the road for our games to be our bat boy there, but hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it will soon. Adam's an incredible dude. Probably the best bat boy in the league if they had a stat for it.
Right.
Garrett, you guys are playing the White Sox next 3 days. Are you playing at all in these games?
I might be playing Sunday. Obviously, I never know until about the day before. Okay. But JT will be in there tonight catching Turnbull for the first time. So we'll work together early today before the game on just what that report looks like. Catching new guys, it's tougher than having the guys that you've caught, a whole bunch before, which, like you said, we've got a lot of the same staff back. But I've been working with Turnbull these first 3 times. So JT and I get together later today and talk about that.
Cool. Excellent. Well, listen, Garrett, by the way, I want to let you know, just in case, our radio show has been on here in Philadelphia for coming up on 25 years now together. And the reason you should return to our show is since we have this longevity in town, we are the only radio or TV show where you can call someone a pussy and say you work your nuts off.
That's it.
So you got to come back on again sometime.
I kind of got that vibe just slightly when I was on my way into the show and heard porn on the radio show.
You're clear. You're good to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Great to have you on, man. Thanks a lot, and have a good time this weekend, all right?
Appreciate you guys having me. Thanks.
You got it. Garrett Stubbs, guys. I'm telling you, he's a piece of work. I love him.
Yeah, it's great.
Love him.